Welcome to A Walk in My Stilettos, where our goal is to help you walk in your greatness. I'm your host, Makini Smith. Hey, Faith Walkers. Thank you for joining us on the A Walk in My Stilettos podcast, where we have conversations with amazing women that are letting us step into their shoes. I help women to strengthen their resilience muscle, own their stories, and conquer their fears so they can reach their goals. I get inspired when I see another woman succeeding, but what interests me more is her backstory and her mindset on how she got there. So today's guest is about to bless us with her testimony, and since you're already here, you may as well subscribe. Today we have Oluremi. She's the founder and CEO of Natural Girl Wigs that provides the finest hair extensions for Black women. It's not just about hair, it's about community and how they uplift women to show up confidently in hair that looks like their natural hair. And with over 50 products, they've delivered to over 10,000 women in more than 30 countries globally. She's helping Black women embrace their true texture and live their best authentic life. And when she's not working at Natural Girl Wigs, Oluremi is helping online businesses achieve the next level of growth. Please welcome to the show, Oluremi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. That was quite an introduction. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on and agreeing to share your story with us. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you so much.
I love to start the show with an icebreaker question because I believe that as women, we have all these different titles that we go by. And, every episode I read these beautiful bios of these amazing women, but I believe that a title that is not given enough significance or credit is our name, because our names have meaning. So my question to you, Oluremi, is do you know what your name means?
My name actually means God, or my God consoles me.
Beautiful.
That's the meaning of my name. Yeah.
I love
the background to that story, my mom had a child before me and she lost the child. And so she had me after she had lost my brother.
Wow. I believe they call it a rainbow baby. So the child that you have after losing a child. I've interviewed a woman on the podcast recently, actually, that happened to her. She had lost a child, and the child that she had after that, the beautiful blessing, she let me know that's called a rainbow baby.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I'm just going to, tell that story instead now and just say, oh, I'm a rainbow baby.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So I'd love to know, what did you want to be when you were a little girl?
When I was a little girl, I think it was a lot more about what people, expected me to be, because I was, very outspoken. I was usually very knowledgeable about the things around me, because my mom, made sure that we were very into like current affairs. She introduced me to a lot of women growing up in terms of like the books that I read, the magazines that I saw, the kind of, things I watched on TV. So a lot of people felt, oh, I was probably going to be a lawyer, or I was going to be, say, just someone like in the media space, either like a musician or something like that, because of how outspoken I was. But for me, I just knew that I wanted to be part of a movement. For me, that was what, being outspoken meant, that I was going to be part of a movement. I don't think I really had one thing that I wanted to be growing up, which is quite funny because a lot of children always had these ambitions. But I knew that I was very passionate about, human rights and the things that happened around me. I also knew that, I wanted to be part of a movement. So that's what it was for me. It was until I went to, my secondary school, and I was always leading like debate classes and everything. That was when I knew that, at some point in my life, I was going to either lead a movement for women or have a company that is about women or something like that.
I love it. I love it. So what inspired you to start the Natural Girl Wigs?
It's a combination of different things. I feel like I have like different stories that all led to the moment where I eventually started the business. So I used to work in I eventually, became like a digital marketer. I was working in a digital boutique agency in Lagos, as at the time I actually started the business. I was always, working with clients on their influencer programs, like digital media campaigns or launching a product and things like that. So I started this Instagram page, which I called Brown Girl Henji. And that page was just like, uplifting like Black women and, sharing Black beauty inspiration from makeup to hair and different things. And also I had this challenge with like my hair, my protective styling and things like that. In fact, I was natural, then I permed my hair, then I went natural again, then I texturized. It was always a struggle. But then I realized that one of the reasons why, the maintenance and all of these things was hard for me was because I wanted to always, look the same way, like, or at least similar to what my natural hair is. So I felt like there was a disconnect between me having like my own natural textured hair and, in my protective styling, I'm either wearing like, Brazilian hair extensions or different kind of weaves. So there was a time I, put up an idea on the Instagram page and I was like, how would it look to have the textured hair extensions kind of wigs and protective styling and just something like that. And a lot of women on the page are like, oh yeah, definitely. And I actually got links to some businesses that were doing these things. And in my research, I realized that it's either these businesses are not even Black owned or they are owned by the Chinese or anything, or they are just focused on selling like very expensive hair extensions. So I did a wig for myself and I collaborated with my own hairstylist at the time. We made this Afrocentric looking wig together, and I posted it on this page and the feedback was really amazing. I had people who were like pre-ordering for me. So I actually started with like no money. I just started with this wig that I made with my hairstylist and then people saw it, ordered for it. Then we now started making like hair like it. So now we have like a combination of different things and both like man like the faux hair. But the idea for me was just to, have a company or a business that was selling different kind of styles for all kinds of Black women.
I love that. And I love how the idea came about. And is it correct that I read that in your first year you made 250,000?
That was actually, I think in the first year we did 100, close to 200. It was like in the first 6 months into the second year that we did 256. Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what has your journey been like since starting your company? How has life changed for you?
Life changed for me with the fact that I had to like leave my 9 to 5 job at the digital agency, and I just become the head of digital marketing. But I just knew that this was what I wanted to do. Like the business was growing, it was sort of like fast paced for me at my level. And I knew that, there were people, trying to order from us from everywhere. And I kind of like felt like this is something I could pursue long time. And, I just started the business. So I decided to leave my 9 to 5 and pursue the business. So it's been kind of a journey because before now, I've always been about, building communities, creating experiences. The business side is a different thing entirely. So I've had to like learn on the job, do a lot of reading, take a lot of courses. And I've been also lucky to have like, a partner. I have a partner, like a co-founder now. So, it's been as I'm learning and also learning from like our customers and the experiences that people have. We've been able to improve as we go and it's been really exciting.
That is beautiful. So, on the personal side, has that changed anything for your life? Because I know a lot of times when women start out a company, and especially if they're, starting out as a small business and things change for them dramatically, whether that changes their home life with their children or their interactions with their family, like has that changed anything for you on the personal side?
I wouldn't say it has changed much. If anything, I would say it has improved my personal life because my partner actually happens to be like my husband now. And even though he has like his own, he has his own work and everything, but he's worked in tech and, like business operations for like tech businesses. So he helps with his own expertise in his own way. And also my mom has really been supportive from like the early days. She's really helped me with like the inventory, the storage managing and everything. So in a way, I think it also even made me bond with my family more because like everybody in my household is helping me out. Like when we have like very long order days, either it's Black Friday or people are just like ordering so much on the website. Like I have my brothers, my cousins, everyone helping me out, including my grandmother. So I like the inspiration is from like everyone in my family. So I think it has even helped me to like improve my relationships with the people around me.
I love that it's like a family business, all hands on deck. I love it. I love it. So I know as an entrepreneur, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur for over 10 years, and I know that sometimes things can get frustrating in business when things don't work out the way that we want it to. And being an entrepreneur, it requires a lot of self motivation. So, how do you stay motivated?
I like to read about like other people who have done the things I want to do, and who are also like in my own current situation. I think like there's nothing like being inspired by people who are like you. So even if they're not in business, just seeing like other Black women either in the corporate world, in business, that are walking up the ladder, building significant things and amazing businesses inspires me. So I'm always reading from people like this. And also, I'm constantly inspired by the women around me too. They say, if you want to like succeed in life, it's important to, surround yourself with people who sort of like have the same mindset as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, just being around women who inspire me constantly motivates me. And that's one thing I would tell, anyone in business out there. I think that instead of like, not collaborating and, just blocking out other people, I think it's important that you look out for businesses or people who are doing things that are similar to you, or not necessarily similar, but still on the kind of journey that you're on, and learn from them. I think that pushes me to, want to do something great. Like when I saw the story of Anifa, the lady who, created this fashion 3D runway, and how everything, like I went to read everything about, even though I had known about her and her brand, I didn't really know her, but I've seen her brand before. So, stories like that motivate me, and it just makes me see like, there's somewhere else that I can go after this. There's a next level. So it inspires
Mm-hmm.
me and motivates me. Yeah.
I've interviewed, I think it was episode 7, a lady by the name of Vivian Kay. She's from here in Toronto. She also has a natural hair extension company called,
Yes, I know her. Katie
yes,
Carly Yaki.
yes, I love Vivian. She's a friend of mine. So, when you're talking about learning from other people, no matter what business you're in, I think she's an amazing person to learn from and connect with. Not
I
just,
actually follow her, so
oh, good.
I read everything she posts. I've actually even purchased some of her online. I think she's done some certain online courses or something. But I'm
Yes.
always, watching her videos, and she inspires me as well.
Yes, she's amazing. Amazing. So what inspires you the most about what you do?
I think it's just like the experience of just being who you want and anything you want as a Black woman. I feel like that's something that I really love. So either like seeing our customers, creating like different styles and even sharing their stories with us. So I always say that my business is beyond just the hair, that, my business is also about like a community of Black women. So we have these newsletters that we do, that we send out like every week, sharing stories of like other Black women, different things about like the Black experience, culture, and things like that. So seeing the feedback from this newsletter, and also the reviews and the things that, our customers share with us after like receiving our product, or pictures of them in our product or things like that, motivates me, because I feel like for them, they are seeing us for what we really are, which is mostly a community more than even selling the hair pieces. And that's what I want the Natural Girl brand to eventually become. And I'm happy that I'm seeing the footprints already, right? So that
Hmm.
inspires me and that encourages me so much, because I know I'm on the right path. I know I'm doing the right thing. And it's just a beautiful experience.
So what would you say to any woman that's listening right now that's afraid to start her business or to even take that next step in her business? What advice would you give her?
One thing I'm going to say is that you don't know, you really don't know until you start. I know that for a lot of women out there, we always deal with having ideas. We always deal with, just thinking about what we want to do. But, taking that step of actually doing it is a different story. And I also have the story. When I was, thinking about doing Natural Girl Wigs, even when I had that page and I had shared the story and I knew that, there was a market for this kind of product, it still took me a while to actually get to reality, because I kept doubting myself and thinking, what if people don't like it? People say all sort of things on social media. It's a different thing when you actually make the product. Are they going to buy and things like that? So I just want to tell people that just produce, create, do anything that you think you want to do. If people do not like it, then that's fine. But you would never know if you do not try. And there's no perfect product. I always tell people that if you create something now, you can't know it all, you can't have it all. The feedback you get from the market and your customer, it's still going to affect what you do and how you alter the product, how you make changes. So the number one thing I would always say is surround yourself with people that can push you and take the take that bold step to just start what you want to do today.
I love it. I love it. So the key is to take action. There's a lot of people that have ideas and they have these dreams, but they don't attain them because they're afraid to just take action. So your advice is for them to just take that step. I love it.
Yeah.
So what's one thing that most people don't know about Oluremi? Tell us something that most people don't know about you.
I think I really write for my people. I'm that kind of person. I don't really have like a lot of friends, but like the few people I have in my corner, I really write for them. And also I'm the kind of person that is very deliberate. So if I see say like a Black woman or a woman doing a business, I'm the kind of person that takes note of that business, right? So like I'm that kind of person. And I'm also the kind of person that when I see someone, someone has done like a really bad thing to women or like to Black women or anything, I can also take note and say, I'm never patronizing this business again. So it might just be me. I mean, other people might not care, but like for me, it's like I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Like it's very important to me. So yeah, sometimes people can be like, oh, you're doing too much. But I feel like if we really, stand for something, then we have to stand for it, thoroughly, right? There's no halfway. That's the kind of person I am. So I think that, sets me apart. Sometimes my friends are like, oh, Remy, please. But I feel like, sometimes my friends could be like, it's really not that deep. But for me, it's deep. Like if a business or someone has like, consistently shown that, that they are sort of like assholes in quotes, like I'm the kind of person that will step back from supporting that business. And if I also see especially women, if I see a woman or a Black woman, starting a business, to buy, $20 worth of the product. I'm the kind of person that, actually puts my money into it. So I think I'm very passionate. Like whatever side I'm on, I'm a very passionate person.
So what are some other adversities that you've had to experience to get to where you are today?
I think also because, where I live and also like where we produce in the early days, like we had the challenge of, some people, worried about like, oh, is this a Black owned business or something like that? And, we had to like communicate that consistently and say, oh, this is me. And also because I wasn't really out there with the brand, wasn't really all over social media with the business. So like that was it, right? It wasn't really like a big challenge, but it was something that we had to like communicate consistently. And also in terms of like, payment structure, shipping and all of that, we had to figure it out so that it was, affordable for people and, also receiving payments from people as well. So I would say like those were the challenges. And as someone was, this was my first product business, even though I'd done like services and like the digital media space, but in terms of like selling a product, so I had to like factor in like the shipping properly. I had to make sure that, we could receive payments from people via PayPal and all of these other means. So like that was a bit of a challenge, but I'm happy that we've been able to, walk through that now.
Yeah. So you said, the challenge was from where you're from or where you've produced. So we have listeners all over the world, Canada, the US, Africa, Australia, Korea. So tell the people like where you're from and where your products are produced.
Yes. So currently our products are produced in Lagos, in Ghana, and in Texas. So the way the business is structured, we leverage on Black hairstylists to like produce the wigs and the ponytails and everything that we do. Like I said, like the first product that was, produced was in collaboration with my own hairstylist. So I've sort of like made it a model whereby like we give jobs to like the local hairstylist as well. So we produce from like Lagos, Nigeria, from Accra, as well as in Texas as well. And we ship from like either like our Lagos, storage, or the Texas storage. That's, those are the places we ship from. So currently we deliver everywhere in the world. Like most of our customers are actually in the US, and we have customers in Canada as well, in the UK and Nigeria, Ghana, everywhere in the world, to be honest. But I'm going to say like most of our customers are in the US, in Canada, in the UK, and Nigeria.
Okay, awesome. So, have you had any coaches or mentors that have helped you along the way?
So my idea of like coaches, I wouldn't really say. I mean, I follow a couple of people, and like when they create courses or they have like a template, I buy. Like for example, Vivian K. I think I bought like one template that she put together,
Mm-hmm.
and I follow her as well. I have other like entrepreneurs and coaches that I follow that way. Although like I wouldn't really say I have like mentors. Although recently I just like hooked up with like an entrepreneur in the States who's doing like an amazing thing. She has this female rider company, so you can like for women are the drivers. It's called R Ride, HERIDE. So like they provide it's sort of like an Uber, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like for women. So, a couple of times we jump on calls and she sort of like helps me to think about some things. We have conversations, but generally, like I'm the kind of person that follow people online, read what they write, and I get inspiration and I get lessons from that. I do not believe that you have to, have someone as like a physical mentor or
Right.
coach before you can learn from them, because people share a lot online. They share a lot about
Yes.
their lessons, and especially women, a lot of women are very open about their journey. So I learn from what I read online. I learn from, what they put out there.
I love that. And I 100% agree with you where your mentor or coach doesn't have to be someone in real life. You know, we can have someone that we see on the internet or someone that we've read about who is either in the position that we want to be in or has the qualities that we aspire to have, and learn from them just by following them online, reading their any interviews and stuff that they've covered or podcasts that they've been on. And like you said, them sharing their journey can help you along the way, not just seeing, where they are today, but understanding the process that they had to go through and the things that they also had to overcome. I definitely believe those same things. And I feel like as women, like I said in the beginning, we wear all these different hats. So with you being a business owner and a wife and all of these different things, how do you take care of Oluremi? Like, what does your self-care routine look like?
Pre-COVID, I usually just, yeah, because I feel like that's a different thing. I
Yeah.
hang out with my friends a lot. Like, I have a friend that we mostly hang out like every week. Sometimes we take ourselves out for lunch. I try to just chill by myself because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's important. For a woman, it's, a lot of times you don't have personal time for yourself. And I try
Mm-hmm.
to create that space for myself. Now that during the COVID era, I tend to have like my personal time when I'm like with my skincare products, either scrubbing my skin, and doing things like that. I also like to have like a silence time where I'm like
Mm-hmm.
just alone in the room for a couple of hours, meditating, thinking about things, listening to the music that I love, and things like that. So I feel like self-care for me is having like my own personal time where I'm alone and doing the things that I love.
You sound like you're introverted. Introverted people,
Actually,
they
I'm not.
no.
I'm not at all. I'm not. So also, I think I'm a mix of the two. I think I'm a mix of the two because, like, when I go out, I go out. Like, I party, I do things, but also I don't go out like all the time. So when I go out, I tend to like do all the fun things I want to do. But
Mm-hmm.
majority of the time, like, I'm in house and I enjoy my alone time. I like to probably gist to my friend on the phone or just with my partner, or be by myself. But I think I'm a mix of the two. I'm not of those people who never go out. I go
Mm-hmm.
out, but I also understand the importance of being by yourself sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I have a complete random question because I came across this article on the Reader's Digest, and I like to ask every woman that comes on the show because there's a fashion expert that says, like, just by looking at your footwear, they can tell a lot about your personality. So your favorite type of shoe says a lot about who you are in terms of your personality. So I would love to know, Oluremi, do you know what your favorite type of shoe is? Is it
Okay.
a, a running shoe, a stiletto, a flip flop, boots, loafers? I don't know. What's your favorite
I
type of
love
shoe?
sandals.
Sandals?
I love heeled sandals. Yeah, like moves, things like that, or pointed sandals with heels. Like I'm a sandal girl. Yeah.
So when you say sandals with heels, like more like pumps?
Yeah, like pumps or moves. I have a lot of moves actually, like those patterned, structured moves. I like
Okay.
those a lot. Yeah, I have a couple from like Zara, from Mango, and all of this other, brands. So I actually like moves a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Mules.
Yep. Okay. So it says that mule devotees enjoy being the center of attention. Mule wearers love to tell a funny story to a large group of their friends. They're someone who will bravely stand to give a toast, and they're an excellent public speaker. This person is very confident, very social, and just adores being the center of attention in some way. Let's face it, if you look down and you're wearing mules, you know you can't get enough of the limelight. Does that sound like you?
um, I feel like it's 80% me.
Okay, so I want you to tell the people where they could stay connected with you online before we go to the final segment of the show.
My social media is Oluremi_X. My personal Instagram is Oluremi_X. And that's what I am on Twitter as well. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram often.
Okay. And I will have the link to all of your social medias in the details section of the episode so they can just click and connect with you directly.
Okay.
And
And my business as well, because that's important to
yeah,
me.
I will have all of those there for you, no problem. I want you to take a second, and for the final segment of the show, it's called A Walk in Her Wisdom. It's just a couple of quick reflection questions, and you share the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
So, first question, name a book that has changed or greatly impacted your life.
I would say there's a book I read currently. It's about customer service. Yes, Hug Your Haters. Hug Your Haters.
So, what's it called again?
Hug Your Haters.
Okay. Hug Your
Hug Your
Haters?
Haters.
Okay. What failure has taught you the most about life?
I think what failure has taught me the most about life is that life is a journey,
Mm-hmm.
actually. So if you fail, it's not like the end of the road. It's a lesson. And you
Mm-hmm.
can always change. You can always change the trajectory of your life. You can change the next chapter of your life. It doesn't failure you've had. So failing at things, because actually before I started my business, I've had like some failures in, starting other businesses before, but and very, very bad failures. But I think that all the lessons that I've learned and also me reflecting as a result of those failures has helped me to, have a better life now. So I think what
Mm-hmm.
failure has taught me is that it's not the end. It doesn't have to determine your entire life. You can take it as a lesson and improve your next chapter.
I love that. I love that. Name one of the most worthwhile investments that you've ever made. And that could be money, time, energy.
Aside from my laptop, because I do a lot of work on my laptop, so it's important that my laptop is in good condition. I'll also say, there's this group that I started. It's called Admission. So it's a group of like D2C companies that are scaling like products.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot of lessons being in that group. They've helped me improve with like my advertising skills and also my marketing and storytelling skills as well. So like that's the biggest investment and the most useful investment that I've done in recent times.
Okay. What impact do you want to have on the world?
I would want to sort of like amplify the voices of women, because I think that most times putting a woman in, voting a woman or just electing a woman or having a woman in certain positions, either in corporate world or in business, is mostly like an afterthought. And
Mm-hmm.
I want people to see like the potential of like women and how powerful our mind is and how creative we can be, so that we're not just thought of as as an afterthought. So I would want my life to be a reflection of the potential of what women do across like anything we are invested in. And also like for black hair, I always say that I would want to be like the first black hair producer, in terms of actually manufacturing like each fiber that goes into producing hair. I think that
Mm-hmm.
is something that is currently dominated by companies and things like that. We black women wear a lot of hair products and stuff like that. So and it's actually a very huge. So saying, a black woman, owning that market, I think it's a very huge message. And that's one of the footprints I would like to leave in the world.
Thank you. That's awesome. So, what new belief, behavior, or habit has improved your life in the last 5 years?
So of recent, I started this thing where when I wake up in the morning, I try, like, I don't go near my phone. I, go brush my teeth. I exercise. I meditate. I drink water. I drink tea. I try to, you know, embrace my environment for like the first 2 hours before going into my phone. And it has
Mm-hmm.
really worked for me, because I realized that when you check your phone, there's a kind of energy that comes into you by the kind of news you see. So you can take your
Yes.
phone for instance and see like a very bad message, or you see something that makes you angry. So me practicing that, or I just started practicing it like a few months ago, but it has actually improved my day. It has improved like my to-do list. It has improved like my work for the day, and even me communicating and me relating with people around me. So just, making sure that I have that positive energy that I can direct by myself has helped improve my life.
I love that. I actually do the exact same thing. And I was just sharing with someone last night that they should
Oh,
implement that.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because I find a lot of people wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is they check their phone. And like you said, if you
I
get a
used to be
bad,
like that, to be honest.
yeah. If you get a negative email or message or something on social media first thing in the morning, that can ruin your energy for the entire day. And waking up in the morning and starting your day with consuming from outside sources, it's not helpful to you. So having practices in the morning of not going straight to your phone and going straight to social media or emails and actually starting your day feeling energized, whether it be praying or meditation or, going for a walk, getting some exercise, doing things for yourself first before, going to your phone. So I love that. I actually do the same thing.
It actually works. I want more people to embrace it.
Yeah. Yeah. And last but not least, what have you become better at saying no to in the last 5 years? And that could be distractions, invitations, family.
Yes, I think that I've been better at saying no to some requests that I'm not necessarily comfortable with, but usually it's like uncomfortable to say no to people because you don't want them to feel a certain way. So I think that I've also learned to say no, but with like empathy, like
Mm-hmm.
understanding why that person thinks you should, totally say yes to their request, either because of their own need or the relationship. So I've learned to just say no in situations that are uncomfortable for me, myself, and just explain to that person, oh, this is why I cannot do this. So I've learned tact, and I've also learned empathy in saying no.
I love that. I found a lot of the women that have been interviewed on this show have a similar answer in terms of learning to say no to things that don't align with your purpose. And the deeper that you get into building, your legacy and your brand and your business, the more you get comfortable saying no to things that don't make you feel good or feel comfortable or take you outside of your purpose. I want to thank you, Oluremi, for taking the time to join us today. I truly appreciate you sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so thankful to be on your podcast, and I hope, my story connects to someone out there.
It definitely will. It definitely will. Thank you so much. And to all of you faith walkers out there, until next time, subscribe on all platforms, rate the show, and leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Join the community of faith walkers and sign up for our weekly newsletter at awalkinmystilettos.com. And be sure to grab one of my personal development books available online everywhere. And if you can think of one person that would receive value from Oluremi's testimony, please share it with them. Be sure to screenshot this week's episode and you can tag us on Instagram. You can tag Oluremi at Oluremi_X or at Natural Girl Wigs. And you can tag myself at The Real Makini Smith and continue to walk in greatness in your stilettos in a manner worthy of your calling.